Cutters, Degrassi, Unpopular Opinions. Hey there, how there, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to another Degrassi Unpopular Opinion / hot take. Yes, I'm going to do the / hot take on this one. So, I made a post about a week ago, and for context, this is being taped on February 28th, 2022. And I put it, unpopular opinion. I would never blame Maya for getting Cam about her diatribe in season 12. And I went like this. Well, I got a lot of Reddit points on this, but here we go. I know that she felt guilty about not helping Cam and that she was a mistake. But in season 12, when she was confronted about her being with Harry by Katie and her mom, she said, well, and Katie said, you can't replace Cam. Why not? He broke up with me by killing himself. I hate him. I hate him. I feel like I'm never going to be happy again. And every day it just keeps getting worse and worse. I can't miss him anymore. I can't. I don't want to. He never even said goodbye. The thing is that if she didn't want to remember Cam because of that statement, I wouldn't have blamed her. Cam didn't probably say goodbye to her, broke up with her via text and not face to face. How else would Maya would take it? I feel like Maya wanted to get rid of his presence, but it didn't work. Season 14 would have tested that with her trying to help Miles to overcome her guilt about Cam. What are your thoughts? And I only got 2 comments, but anyway. Antonius MN, I guess from Minnesota, said, having just watched Bittersweet Sympathy again and some of the behind the scenes stuff on it too, it was really great the way they showed Maya's coping with Cam's death. The way she tried to distance herself and try to focus on her cello tryouts. Then, when forced to speak at the candlelight vigil, she spoke her mind. They shouldn't have forced her. But her reactions, well, maybe not typical for a TV show, are not that rare in the real world. Look at some of the lengths people will go to distance themselves from everyday things. Grief is so powerful, and some just choose to avoid it altogether. I know a lot of people will know what I'm talking about when I talk about this whole Maya thing, but the fact of the matter is, here's a storyline synopsis. So in season 12, Cam comes into Toronto to play junior hockey for the Toronto Ice Hounds. He gets harassed by his team because he's not performing as well. Cam is supposed to be this phenom, kind of like a John Tavares or a Eric Lindros, if you will. And then all of a sudden, Cam's got feelings for Maya and really likes Maya. Maya's a cello player and, I think he's cultured. And Cam comes close to her. But the team doesn't like his puppy dog thing and is distracting him from being a true hockey player. In the meantime, Sig is a little jealous of Cam because Sig wants to be close to Maya and all that. But Maya gravitates towards Cam and Sig basically gravitates towards Maya. So you have a messy love triangle and that. Cam has problems because the team is pressuring him to do well. He's 10 hours away from home. I mean, he's homesick. Can't blame that. And, he just doesn't know if it's worth it. So he tries to injure himself to prevent him from playing hockey. Didn't really work as much. And basically, he dislikes Maya. Sig gets jealous, gets Cam worked up at a charity floor hockey game. Cam gets in trouble. Maya doesn't defend Cam, even though that Maya knows that Sig provoked Cam on purpose. But Maya, in a sense, I think either she wanted to be close to Sig or she was worried that Sig would get mad at her, decided not to protect Cam. Cam gets suspended for a week and decides to apologize to Maya and stays over at Maya's house because it's getting late and all that. But then he leaves the next morning with Maya's stuffed owl Hoot and will give it back to her in front of the school. Unfortunately, though, Sig comes in the picture and wants to get rid of Cam once and for all and basically tells Cam, stay out of her life forever. Cam just does that. That was the last straw, and he goes to the greenhouse and kills himself. Eli sees this, and he has PTSD. Thankfully, his father and Principal Simpson help him out with all that stuff. Now, of course, this reminds me of the one thing that I always iterate. So anyway, we don't know how Cam died. Either he hung himself, even slashed himself. There's another theory out there that he drank poison and all that. Well, he's in a greenhouse, so you have greenhouse chemicals and all that. So what garden chemicals, what can you do? And as I keep saying over and over again, as somebody who worked at a garden center for one summer in 2019, just a couple years just a little bit before I got to Canadian Tire, I know about garden chemicals and toxicity and all that bull crap. And I had to take online courses to deal with all that stuff. I spilled a few things. Thankfully, though, I didn't spill it on myself. I just spilled it on the um, like the cobblestone area, like because it's an outdoors area, so it got swept up pretty well. So I managed to do quite well in cleaning it up and all that. So with personal experience, I can agree with the garden chemicals bullshit. So anyway, the garden chemicals aside, Cam dies. Maya is pressured to say something because Maya was Cam's girlfriend, despite the fact that Sig definitely thinks Maya is his girlfriend. Maya says this stuff and says that, he killed himself off. He could have broken up with me and all that, and suicide is selfish. True, I get it. But then, for some strange reason, Maya tries to be more provocative. I mean, Sig does apologize to Maya, saying he feels bad for what happened and all that, but Maya brushes him off. It's like Maya was not in the right frame of mind. And then, she goes with Harry. Her family's worried about her and saying that she's just trying to replace Cam and all that. I'm actually surprised she didn't come closer to Sig, but I guess she didn't really want to be with Sig. After all, I mean, maybe in her mind, Sig kind of had the last straw. It was the last straw. Sig got Cam to kill himself, and maybe she's thinking Sig's the dirty piece of shit, if you will. Sorry for saying that, but that's the truth. But regardless of that, Maya goes on that diatribe, which I said earlier, and yeah. And I'm like, well, Maya had a reason to forget Cam after season 12. I mean, after all, she was right. He did break up with her through text and not face to face, and he killed himself. Well, breaking up with someone over text and not face to face in the first place is terrible, but killing himself off. And Maya had the feeling that Cam didn't want to be with her for some reason. And she felt bad. I mean, she was with Sig for a while, and then she went towards Miles for season 13 and 14. And then we soon learned in season 14 that she's basically she has nightmares about, Cam falling, Miles hurting himself and all that, and realizes about Cam hurting himself and puts two and two together. She tries to go see a psychiatrist. She tries to put everything past her. She doesn't say Cam by name, but we can all assume all that. In a sense, Maya got failed by everyone around her who didn't realize it. But I think Maya, in a sense, ruined herself by, if she had just said Cam's name, I think people would have been more sympathetic. I mean, they were right in saying that you can't help someone who doesn't want to help themselves, and you can't ruin your life for a guy. But Maya was just trying to get the guilt behind her. And, Maya stops being with Miles after season 14 and Degrassi nudes in that fire. And Miles says, I'm glad you helped me out. Feel free to check up on me. And Maya says, yeah, you're fine, in a sense. I think she smiles because she's happy because now she's got the guilt of the fact that she didn't help Cam out with his problems. And now she's now free to be herself. Unfortunately, though, that would be a pipe dream. And by next class season 3, when that bus crash, she turns into suicidal thoughts again. It's like, what the hell? I mean, okay, props to Degrassi for making the depression storyline go multiple seasons and all that, and just saying that a storyline can have multiple seasons. But I mean, I wouldn't blame Maya one bit if after season 14 everything was on the back burner and she was happy again, and then the bus crash brings back her suicidal thoughts or dark Maya moments. Wow, shocking. But anyway, yeah, I definitely think that Maya was in the right in season 12. She wasn't happy that Cam committed suicide. Who would be happy if you commit suicide? Not even Sig was, even though Sig kind of should own up and get responsibility. I wonder if it was found out the cops could have given Sig a charge or something like that. But Sig, I think, didn't mean it. I think Sig was just jealous of Maya being with Cam, and this jealous prick. I mean, as I said in a few, previous CDUO, that he was like Veronica from the Archie comics. There is a difference between the Archie comics and the Archie TV show, like Riverdale. But the Archie comics, like Archie and Betty are comfortable together. Veronica does not want Betty and Archie around. And in one comic, Dilton tells Betty that Veronica only wants Archie because she craves competition. And if Betty dumps Archie off, then Veronica will have no inkling towards Archie, that basically her drive to get Archie will be gone. So Betty tests that theory and it works. And Veronica doesn't want to go near Archie. Archie and Betty date, but they go to places where Veronica would not go because Betty figures that if Archie and Betty are found together, then someone will kill Veronica. And Veronica basically finds out anyway because she's summing in for Midge, who injured herself at the carnival. And Betty finally decides to say, I love Archie and I don't care if Veronica knows it. And all that. And Veronica said in the last panel, she said, some people are not turn out to be sneaky. I think Veronica kind of knew that Betty was trying to get Archie to herself, but Betty's guilt would actually get her to admit her guilt, and then Veronica swoops in. I mean, Archie doesn't deserve either of them. Well, Archie treats Betty terribly, and Archie is just basically a slave to Veronica. Veronica doesn't care about Archie's well being. In a sense, she's just, being a dick towards Archie. And I just wish Archie can see that and go towards Betty and all that. Because Betty's family treats Archie better than Veronica's family, I'll tell you that much. But this is the comic book era. Yeah, it's like Sig is like Veronica and jealous of Cam and Maya being, Archie and Betty. But in the end, one of them doesn't kill themselves. One of them kills themselves instead of the Archie comics. But yeah, death to Sig? Nah. Sig, I hate Sig and I really hate him. But, Sig got Maya in the end. I guess because of guilt? I don't know. So yeah, that's my diatribe. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good day.